Hey everyone! Ew, what the fuck was that? Hey everyone, welcome back to Just Like Magic with Julia. On today's episode of Just Like Magic, we are talking about how you really are, who and what you surround yourself with, okay? Now, the reason why I say that is because I really need you all to really start paying attention to the company that you choose to keep around you. Energy is contagious. And if you surround yourself with great people, good vibes, goal oriented people, people who are in alignment with your path, you are going to feel motivated. You are going to feel inspired. You are going to feel driven and supported. And guess what? That is going to get you to where you need to go. But if you choose to do the opposite and surround yourself with people who don't have great intentions or don't even see the value within themselves, they are not going to see the value within you. It's an ugly energy. And guess what? Ugly is contagious, okay? And I know all of my gems on this channel are the most beautiful, valuable, precious people in the world. So we're not trying to have any ugly energy contaminate us. We are going to stay above it all. And honestly, that's exactly why we need to have a conversation today about keeping good energy, good people, good content, good everything around you, okay? You need to be more mindful with what and who you give your time to and what and who you surround yourself with. So, with that being said, we are going to get right into it. But, real quick, I know that if you're watching this video right now, you probably really love self development, mindset, lifestyle, self love. So, I'm going to need you to hit that subscribe button so that you stay surrounded by this channel, because let me tell you something, we are the opposite of bad energy. We are going to make sure that you get to where you want to be in life with the utmost confidence, the utmost self-love, and the utmost integrity, okay? So if that sounds like something you want, hit that subscribe button and become a gem and join the Just Like Magic family so that you can be manifesting your dreams, you can be having all of the faith, you can be aligned with everything, and it will all happen for you just like magic. So if you made it past my little subscribe rant, I appreciate you. You know I have to just remind people for the engagement to subscribe because, honey, these videos take time and I'm going to need some support from you all, okay? So thank you. So truth be told, the inspiration for this video really came from, honestly, a little bit of a dark place that I found myself in over the weekends. I was in a little bit of a slump. And that doesn't mean anything because, listen, everyone has those days. No matter if you're living your dreams, no matter if you're chasing your dreams, no matter if you don't even know what your dreams are yet, everyone has those days. And mine just happened to be this past weekend. But, one thing that I really noticed was my support team really made all of the difference. And it really got me thinking to a time where I went through a dark place, and it wasn't just for a weekend, it was for a year almost. And the people that I had around me during that time made that time feel a little bit worse, a little bit darker, a little bit lonelier, because they weren't my people. And ultimately, they themselves could not see the value within themselves and find the light that I was looking for out of that darkness in their own lives. And it got me comparing and contrasting these two scenarios because it felt like the people that I had around me, the past weekend really made all of the difference. Good people are to be cherished, and I really cherish my support team. And I say all this to say it is not about who talks the talk. It's about who really shows up for you. It's about who walks the walk. It's about people who are about that action. Okay, because a lot of people can tell you that, you're going to get through something. A lot of people can validate your experience. A lot of people can act one way to your face and then not actually have good intentions or still do things that sabotage or betray you behind your back when you're not looking, despite whatever it is that you're going through, whether you're going through something or not. I don't want you to think I'm telling you to have unrealistic expectations for the people in your life and that the people in your life are supposed to pull you out of a dark place or are responsible for your mental health or well-being. No, but the people in your life are supposed to be of value to you as you are to them. And the thing about that is people will be of value at different times. If you're going through something and you know your friend is in a dark place, well, maybe you can't be there for each other if you guys are struggling. Chances are you may both need other forms of support at that time. But I'm talking about how the people in your lives, perceptions, perspectives, beliefs about themselves, beliefs about the world will rub off on you, because all of those things create an energy. If you spend enough time with that person and you care about them and you have these conversations, energy is contagious. I really want you to understand that. It is so important to have your own inner knowing, to have your own intuition. Friends should not just show up and tell you how you're right all the time. Friends should not feed your ego. You need to have people in your life, not even just friends. I'm saying friends because like I'm just using that as an example, but like friends, romantic partners, you know, family to a certain point. You can't really pick your family all the time, but like if you're going to be picking and choosing to spend amounts of time with them, you should have family, you should have, you know, mentors, therapists, whatever, that really are honest with you. And when I say honest, I don't mean rude, I mean truthful. These people should have your best interest at heart and at hand as well. You need to know when you're wrong. You need to know when you're right and when you're not crazy and when you really did something and deserve to be appreciated and validated. But the thing is, with that, you have to have your own inner knowing, your own intuition, your own sense and grasp on life and on things, because you need to be able to be honest with yourself and use discernment when you feel like someone is not being truthful with you, is just telling you what you want to hear, is doing something out of their own place of lack of self-belief or insecurity. Like I said, energy is contagious, and a person's attributes, who they are, will rub off on you. You want to make sure that you are picking people who are inherently good, who love you, who want the best for you. Because guess what? When you find yourself in dark times, you are going to be who you surround yourself with. The way in which you cope with problems, the way in which you find resources, the way in which you expand your viewpoint, that is going to be impacted by the people who you keep around you. Because guess what? Over this past weekend, let me tell you something. Like I said, energy is contagious. Love was the energy I felt, and that was super, super, super present in the people in my support system. And that's really what healed me this weekend. I'm just saying, you know? And without them, I don't know if I wouldn't be in that slump. Like, truthfully, they really pulled me out of that. But that's also because I keep the best people in my life. Truthfully, if you do not have value, and what I consider value is to be an inherently good and kind person, someone who is committed to growth and can be honest with themselves and others in a gentle, maybe kind way, someone who is ambitious and passionate and just wants to enjoy life and give back to the world. Those are the things that I consider valuable. I've cultivated those connections and keep those connections tight. Those connections were really what was able to bring me out of my slump, because those were the same people that said, Julia, you know damn well you're worth more than this. Let's have a talk, right? Their caring nature, quite literally, was the only reason why I was able to see myself the way that they saw me again and pull myself out of that dark space. They saw something that I wasn't able to say. They were like, girl, you need to rest. You need to take it easy. I could not even see that for myself at that moment. And my friends and my family, they were like, Mama, it's not it right now. You gotta chill. And so I'm telling you, you need people in your life like that, who are going to see things for you that maybe you can't see because of life and because things sometimes get emotionally foggy. I know damn well a great example of this is when you're going through a breakup and you know at the beginning of that breakup that the person who, you know, you were in a relationship with did you wrong, and at first it's really hard, but like you're mentally aware and you're like, okay, it is what it is, like this is gonna hurt, but like I know he did me wrong. And then boom, like emotions just take over and you don't feel okay, and you have this like blindness towards everything going on because you're just feeling, you're not even in your logical sense anymore, so you're just walking down the path blind, right? That's what I mean when I say you need friends to see for you in those moments of life. And it's just way more than a breakup, but that's one of the best examples. So you need to make sure that you're picking for those moments. You're not picking just to have fun. You're not picking for the clubs. You're not picking for the highlight moments, right? I know a lot of people who have seasonal friends. And by seasonal, I mean they're there for a season of celebration. They're there for a season of vacation mode. They're there for a season of let's go out and let's go clubbing to the beach. Let's do all these fun things. And you spend your time nourishing those relationships because they're there for the highlight reels, right? And when shit hits the fan and you're down bad, who do you have? Now you'll notice that I didn't just name this video, you are who you surround yourself with. I said you are what you surround yourself with. So my thing is, I know that we live in an era of just like consumption. We're always consuming something, whether it's TV, whether it's work, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, whether it's social media, whether it's a book. What like things can also be good, but we're just constantly consuming things. When I say that you are what you surround yourself with, you have to pay attention to what you get to choose to consume, right? Because what our brains absorb, what our heart absorbs, what our like everything about it, right? Look, I'm a huge music fan, but if I'm listening to a song about partying and certain activities, right, I may not necessarily align with that lifestyle. You need to choose right for you. If you're going through something, go on YouTube and watch a video about it and help yourself. Like, go on YouTube, read a book about it. If you are in a dark space, don't just turn on your iPod. Girl, we are not in 2009 anymore. Wow, I am tired, guys. Don't just go to Apple Music, we're in 2025, and go to or Spotify and go to your playlist and play a depressing song. Go watch something that's inspiring to you. Go listen to people who have gotten out of it and really choose what you're putting into your minds. If you have a goal, right? A lot of the people on this channel are people of faith or people who are trying to manifest, people who believe in a higher power, right? Learn about that. And even when you're not in a dark space, even when you're just neutral, right? The thing is, we have to maintain energy. We have to maintain momentum because at any moment, those things can be altered. And so, my point in saying all of this is feed your energy, feed your soul, feed your heart, feed your minds with things that make it full. Now, look, I'm not saying we got to give up our songs that we love, right? And sometimes, sure, like we need to rest, we need to relax. I was watching Housewives of Miami this whole weekend, but like know when to stop and say to yourself, okay, I need to get back into my grind mode. I need to really feed myself with things that are going to fuel me. If you have a goal, then start watching things that feed that goal. Listen to inspiring podcasts, listen to motivational videos, seek out the answers. Go into the search bar on YouTube and write in what you want to resolve. And I promise you, there's going to be a video for it, but you need to seek that out. You can't just say, okay, I don't know, and then go back to life as you know it. This is positive change. And the people who you have in your life are a reflection of that positive change because guess what? I promise you, you are the result of your 5 closest friends. Now, look, I know that this is hard to hear because I have some amazing friends in my life. But the thing is, when you have a goal, the truth is you have to be very intentional with who you spend your time to. So for example, if your goal is to lose weight and your 5 friends don't have that goal, right? And they're always eating out, eating junk food. You're going to eat junk food. That's going to make your goal 20 times harder. Another example, let's just say, you're trying to really level up. You're trying to glow up, right? And you're really just being intentional about your energy, being intentional about your time, and you have friends who gossip that's not good energy. That's going to go against what it is you're trying to attract. If you're trying to be more confident, if you're trying to glow up, if you're trying to get to that next level of being that girl, why would you hang around with girls who are engaging in low vibrational activities? So you have, this is what I mean, like you have to be real with yourself when you're observing the people who you keep around you, because if you want to be one way and your friends are another way, chances are they're going to hold you back, and you don't want that. Like, no one is worth that. Your friend groups, the content you watch, the YouTube videos that you watch, your podcasts, your books, your music, all of that can either really harm or help you. And pay close attention to how the presence of others affects your moods. Because I'll tell you something right now. There were friends that I had in my life at the time when I was going through that initial dark phase where, I had intuitive feelings, but I didn't want to let them go because we had known each other for X amount of time. Or, the attachment and the memories were very strong, and I didn't want to lose that. Girl, if I can go back to my 19-year-old self, my 20-year-old self, my 21-year-old self, I would say drop them and get to where you want to go. Because guess what? Everyone in life, no matter who you are, is motivated by self interest of some sort. We all love each other, but at some point, especially when you get older, you need to open your eyes and realize who's walking down what path, and if you're okay walking down that path with them. If you have friends who are gossip queens, if you have friends who make fun of other people behind their back, if you have friends who cheer for someone in their face and then go talk about them, guess what? A, they're probably doing that to you too. And B, is that the type of person that you want to be? Even if you've done it too, right? Do you want to continue doing it, or do you want to change? Do you want to show up like that? Do you want to continue to engage with that? Because that is where you're headed if those are the people that you're surrounding yourself with, despite their intentions. I know sometimes we gently make excuses for the people that we love. We're like, oh, but they have a really good heart. Or, oh, but they went through this and I love them and I know that they have a really kind soul. No, they don't. No, they don't. I love you. And I'm going to hold your hands when I say this. But especially when you're grown, people who want to change, change. And you can't make someone change, and you can't sacrifice your own change and your own growth and your own development for other people, because everyone is interested in where they're going, and you need to be just as interested in loving to yourself as you are to them. Life is really, really, really short. I know it doesn't seem like it sometimes. I know sometimes we get caught up in these really crazy moments where we feel like life just isn't going the way that we want it to, or that it's depressing or uncertain. And that can really cause an emotional disruption within us. But I promise you that even if those times are real, and even if you're going through something like that or have been through something like that, there is another side to it. There is a way out of it. And I want you to know that the more that you surround yourself with people who see life in a beautiful way, the more that you surround yourself with people who seek clarity and newness and are open to different things, the more that you will be. And no matter what, life is worth living. No matter what, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you have to want to. Life is too short to be miserable. Seek positivity, seek inspiration, motivation, clarity, hope, love, all of those things, because they will bring that beautiful energy that's contagious to not only you from the people that you love, but you'll be contagious to other people. And that's exactly what you want to spread. Look, what this past weekend, because I was able to get all of that contagious energy from my support group, I went to the gym that day. Let me tell you something really quickly. I thought that this little dark spot that I was in the past weekend would have lasted for like weeks because I was just down bad. But that love healed me. And so guess what? I went to the gym within 2 days, didn't think I was going to do anything that day. And I was able to spread that love and empower another person. And who knows where that ripple effect goes? Like, you're so much more impactful than you think you are. Your effect on this world is beyond your knowing sometimes, but it's here. It's here. You're beautiful. You're meaningful. You bring something to the table. And so, with that, you deserve to also get that from others. Everyone who you choose to have in your life should bring you a sense of peace, whether it's peace in deep conversations and emotional capacities, peace in having fun, peace in peace of mind. Peace doesn't just have to look like one way or one thing. It can be brought through so many different forms, through so many different people, right? But the people that you keep sacred to you within your circle, the videos that you watch, the content that you consume, with exception to, your rest days or when you want to binge and relax, it should bring you peace. It should make you a better person. And that energy is contagious, like I've said throughout this whole video, right? You need to know how to weed out the people who don't necessarily bring that peace out of you. Because the truth is, if you don't weed them out, you will become one of the weeds. You'll become them. And you don't want that. I know it takes courage to admit to yourself that someone isn't good for you, or that something that you've grown comfortable with, right? Like a certain show is bringing out the worst in you, or a certain person that you really have grown to love is bringing out the worst in you. But is that person worth losing yourself? Because my answer for you is absolutely not. And I know in this video we spoke about how the people who you surround yourself with and what you surround yourself with can be of benefit to you, like when you're at a dark space or when you're at your lowest. But the people who you love and who you surround yourself with will also be the people who, when you win, when you're at your highest, will be there. And it's crazy. Like when I started getting to the point where I was, having some successes in my life, where I had my apartment, where I started my business, there were certain people whose presence were greatly appreciated, and then there were certain people whose absences were noticed. And in addition to that, there were people in my face who were congratulating me, but then were making backhanded comments, or, whose actions were noticed in other ways through different people, and it got back to me. And those are things that are not sincere. If someone's being fake to you, if someone is notorious for going back and forth amongst people, and the story changes whenever you're with them and with someone else, or if they're talking behind your back, if they don't have the best intentions for you, you have to learn how to take those actions for face value. If they're doing it, that's who they are. And that's a lesson I wish I would have learned a lot sooner, babe, because I went through it too. Because think about it, when you win, when you're, at the top of the game, when you're at the top of the mountain, do you really want people around you who aren't necessarily really happy for you? Because I know for me, I want to be surrounded by pure, genuine love where I feel, the happiness. You do not want that ugliness, because like I said before, we're all staying real cute on this side, okay? So do me a favor. Drop a comment in this section and let me know if you've ever had a friend in your life who has negatively or positively impacted you with their energy. And let me know how, because I know we all have some fake friend stories that I really want to hear about. And let me know if you also want to hear some more content on fake friends or keeping certain people around you with certain energies, okay? I can't wait to hear from you all. Please subscribe to my channel so that you can keep me around and we can get into more conversations that lead to your overall growth. I look forward to seeing you next time, and we'll talk soon. Bye.